Hey, so I was having a conversation with a friend of mine today, and what actually came out was so profound. I thought I would share it. So I think a lot of people find themselves in the space during this time where they're saying, I have so much peace. And one of the things that God has really just showed me over the past few days, really, I think, has been kind of I want to say, like the roots of that peace. And I think it's important that we understand it, because in understanding it, it's part of what keeps us encouraged, part of what keeps us motivated. So obviously during this time, we haven't been going to church, and what it's kind of forced people to do is to find, it's forced us to find God for ourselves, like, who is God to me? What does it mean for me to be a believer or Jesus follower? What does it mean, that God is, that I have God in my life, that he's a part of my life. And when, as we've kind of, as we've, as we've gone in to discover that, as we've taken time actually out of our lives to discover that, what's happened is this beautiful thing called relationship. As you build relationship with somebody, so much of it is the same. The same way it works in the natural is in the spiritual. As we've been building this relationship, now suddenly we get to a point where we're like, oh, okay, so this is who God is, and this is why he is, and this is how he is, and all these things. And as this relationship builds, we find it easier to trust him, so, and I mean, it makes so much sense, because how do you, it's difficult to trust somebody that you don't really know. But now, as we're getting to know him, it becomes easier for us to trust him. And then, because we find ourselves trusting him more, we have peace. So I think so many people kind of just jump to the peace, God, give me peace. You are the Prince of Peace. You are and I'm like, and I think it's been amazing for me to see just how, how the end result, yes, is peace, but how it kind of goes back where it comes from and where it starts. That it starts in this, in this notion called relationship, so it's the relationship. The deeper the relationship goes, the easier it is for us to trust. The easier it is for us to trust, the more peace we find we have. And I think it changes. Where's my Bible? I don't know where my Bible is. But this is why, Philippians 4, is it 4? It is 4. When it starts, it says, don't be anxious for anything, but by prayer and supplication, make your requests known to God. Right? So I'm not going to worry in this moment, because I've prayed and I've asked God. And in praying and asking God, it's not that God's answer is going to answer my prayer in the affirmative. It's that I know that God is going to answer my prayer. How he answers it is going to be based on who he is. And because I know who he is, if he comes back saying no, I can trust. I can trust. Because I trust him, I can trust that the no is the right answer for that moment or for that season. If it comes back yes, I can trust that the answer is yes, because he knows better in that season, or in that moment or for that situation. So it's not just like let's run to, and the peace of God that surpasses all human understanding will guard your heart and mind. It's that, okay, when I feel I'm starting to get anxious, I won't be anxious, because by prayer and supplication, I'm going to let him know. I'm going to request whatever it is that I want to request. Then I'm going to base that prayer in the relationship that I have with him. So understanding that, okay, this is who God is, this, and sometimes you'll find it'll be in an area where you actually don't understand him. You know what I mean? Where you maybe don't trust him, maybe where you don't know him. Maybe he hasn't shown himself strong to you or anybody in that area yet. So then what happens is, then because I can trust and I can lean into the relationship that I have with him in other areas of my life, I just bring that as it is into that current space. you know, then the peace of God, you know, which surpasses human understanding. So it's like he kind of goes back, you know, and says, hey, remember that this peace, the peace that you're going to experience, is not going to be a peace that you understand. It's going to be a peace that surpasses all human understanding. And what that peace is there for is to guard your heart and your mind. So your thoughts and all those other things that people talk about, and your heart, your emotions, basically. You know, those are the two big things for me when people talk about thoughts and your thoughts and your heart. So the peace that we're feeling it in our thoughts, because I don't have to worry. Oh, I'm not worrying about things anymore, because now I've come to know God as a provider. So I know he's done it before, he can do it again. Or he did it for them, he can do it for me. You know, I understand his heart. So I can say, oh, okay, so that's what's happening there. No, that's fine. I know God, you know, God is able to. So that's guarding my thoughts. That's the peace guarding my thoughts, you know, guarding my heart. Yes, you know, it's emotional. But at the end of the day, I can still come together with the people in my household. We can pray. We can seek God. We can say, Lord, thank you for who you are, for how you are. You know, thank you that we can trust you for this relationship or for whatever it is. Because again, I'm rooted in relationship, yo. Like, and I think it's such a beautiful, it's a beautiful notion, and it's a beautiful thing to acknowledge and kind of understand, because like I said, that's what I think kind of will build encouragement and faith in moments where we feel like we're lacking. So yes, I want to pray that you will be anxious for nothing, but by everything, by prayer and supplication, through thanksgiving, that you will make your requests known to God, and that the peace of God, which surpasses all human understanding, will come and guard your heart and will guard your mind. And just like rooted in relationship, yo. The starting point of all of that is the relationship. So, yeah, I really hope this time has been as encouraging for you as it has been for me. If it hasn't, then I want to challenge you, man. Just, you know, kind of give yourself into the relationship that God is calling you into and see what happens. Like, see what happens. You can't walk around. Like, I know I hate olives because I've tasted an olive, you know what I mean? I've tried it. And I tried it not with any bias, I just tried it. And in trying it, I was like, this is so nasty. I don't know how people eat olives. But, you know, it's the same thing with God. Like, you know, so many people walk around and you've dismissed God, but like you've never tried him. Not like without your bias, you've never tried him. And like, hear me, I'm saying try God. I'm not saying try Christians. I'm going to close with this now. I'm talking too long. But I heard a quote the other day. This guy said there's only two reasons that people are not Christians. Either they've never made a Christian, so they're not a Christian, or they've made a Christian, so they're not a Christian. Just ponder on that. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to stop there. Bye-bye.